Now, some of the steps taken to tackle sea level rise are relocation. Many coastal cities have planned to adopt relocation as a mitigation strategy. For example, Kiribati Island has planned to shift Fiji, while the capital of Indonesia is being relocated from Jakarta to Borneo. Then building sea walls. Indonesian government, for example, Indonesian government launched a coastal development project called as Giant Sea Wall or Giant Garuda in 2014, which is meant to protect the city from floods. Then using beaches as barriers, then building enclosures. For example, researchers have proposed to build a Northern European Enclosure Dam, which is NEED, enclosing all the North Sea to protect 15 northern European countries from rising sea. The Persian Gulf, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Baltic Sea, Irish Sea, and the Red Sea are also identified as the areas that could benefit from similar mega enclosures. Then, architectures to steer flow water. Dutch city Rotterdam, which built barriers and drainage and innovative architectural features such as water square with the temporary ponds. These are some of the steps that has been taken at the global level to counter the sea level rise. Now, some of the similar steps taken in this direction are switching from fossil fuels to alternatives like solar wind energy, instituting carbon taxes on industries, subsidies for reducing the carbon footprint, then carbon sequestration by geoengineering and natural methods like peatland and wetlands are areas to capture greenhouse gases, then afforestation, then subsidizing the research on climate change. So these are some of the way forward, and I would also highlight that the Paris agreements, which provides a very clear vision on limiting global warming and thus sea level rise. Some of the innovative methods that have been adopted by the countries can be regulated throughout the globe so that we can have a better preparedness with respect to the sea level rise. The uncertainty about a meter or more of sea level rise before 2100 is definitely due to the ignorance and inability to run a model accurately enough. It can be risky to ignore the unknowns, and many actions must be taken in addition to stronger coastal management as a part of adaptation to sea level rise. Then coastal population should be warned and safeguarded during the extreme weather conditions. And to prevent some susceptible places, natural and other barriers should be taken into consideration in a restricted way. For some very low lying places, retreat should be part of adaptive methods. So these are some of the way forwards that I have mentioned. But how I have asked this thing in my previous presentation also, how do we achieve all these objectives? How do we achieve adaptive methods through these approaches? We need to understand that the UDA is the way forward. Underwater domain awareness, climate changes in the sea level are the key indicators of global warming. And sea level rise increases during the 20th century at the rate of up to 0.06 in every 10 years, and the rate has been accelerated since 1950s. So therefore, communities working together to tackle sea level rise are coming up with more creative and ingenious solutions that can be seen around the world. Such solutions may serve as model for cities, but as I have mentioned that the region and the country geography of every single country varies from one another. So we need to understand, we need to adopt a model for a region specifically. But for that, we need to understand their underwater ecosystem. We need to understand the underwater domain of that particular country. So the underwater domain awareness approach by the Maritime Research Center exactly aims to address these things. The four verticals and the four horizontals that exist in this structure in this figure, these are some of the highlights of understanding an underwater domain awareness. So if you understand the underwater ecosystem, you will be better positioned to tackle the under sea level rise. You will be better positioned to understand the nuances of sea level rise, and therefore the mitigation and the adaptive methods that will be adopted to in any particular region will be specifically dedicated to that particular region, because every region has their own different set of problems. Understanding the domain becomes extremely important. Therefore, an UDA approach is the best way forward, especially in today's geopolitical time, where the security aspects are threatening the global scenarios in general. The undersea cables, the mineral resources, they need to be conserved. And for that, you need a comprehensive approach, and UDA provides you that. So, in our next presentation, we will look at some of the impacts of climate change on the coastal and livelihood of people, and we will take up the case of small island developing state. How does that impact those regions? And we will understand that region, and as well as we will understand how to better prepare ourselves for that. So thank you for your attention. I hope to see you in the next module. Thank you.